Hello, welcome. This is going to be a lesson on graphing lines. And basically what we're going to do is you need to remember the slope-intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b. Another way to remember is that you always want to have the y alone. Okay, and remember that the number in front of the x represents the slope, and the number without x represents the y-intercept. So here I have example number 1, where I'm asked to graph the equation y equals 3x minus 7. So the first thing you're going to do is write m and b, and you're going to identify both of them. Well, the m over here in this case is going to be 3, and b is going to be negative 7. Okay? The slope, if you remember, slope is defined as rise over run. So that means I'm going to rise 3, and we always put a 1 underneath, because we always want the slope to be a fraction. So that means you're going to rise 3 and run 1. Alright, how do we begin the graph? The graph is just like us. When we came to this world, we came in as a baby. So basically we start with B for baby. We always start with the y-intercept, which is negative 7. So we go down on the y-intercept and we mark the point negative 7. Once you have started with the b, now you're going to use the slope. The slope says go up 3, run 1. So go up 3 and then run 1. And you're always going to fill in the right side first. So go up 3, run 1. Up 3, run 1. Up 3, run 1. Up 3, run 1. And I cannot go up anymore. Okay, so now, just like in life, we started out as a baby, and then we get older, we become a teenager, and sometimes we rebel. So our parents say go up 3, and instead of going up 3, you go down 3 and 1 to the other side. So basically, you go back to your starting point and you do the opposite, and you fill in the left side. Once you fill in both sides, you should see all these points, and they should make a straight line. If you do not make a straight line, it's because you made a mistake. Okay? Because these are all linear functions. Okay? Alright, let's go ahead and go on to the next one. Okay? So the next one, we have y equals 4 minus 2x. Again, identify your m and your b. The m is the number in front of the x, so this would be negative 2. And remember, we want to be a fraction, so put a 1 underneath. And the b is going to be 4. Alright, so we always start the graph with the b. So b will be 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and then we're going to use the slope, which is down 2 over 1. Remember, you always fill in the right side first. Down 2 over 1. Down 2 over 1. And so forth. Okay, always remember the sign is just telling you if you go up or down, and you're always going to fill in the right side first. Once you fill out the right side, go back to your starting point and do the opposite. So instead of going down 2, you're going to go up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1, and then you're going to connect the dots. Alright, very well. So that's our line right there. So let's go on to the next problem. The next problem is going to be letter C. And again, you're going to identify your slope and your y-intercept. Your slope is negative 2/3. And your y-intercept is negative 2. Okay, we're going to start the graph with our b. So, and notice here that this is already a fraction, so we don't have to worry about the 1. Okay? Because we always want our slope to be a fraction. Alright, we're going to start with letter B. Letter B is negative 2. And from there, we're going to go down 2 over 3. Down 2 over 3. Down 2 over 3. And then backwards. Up 2 over 3. Up 2 over 3. Up 2 over 3. And with that, we're going to connect the dots. And there we go. We have our line. Okay, notice that the line started at -2 and down 2 over 3, down 2 over 3, down 2 over 3. Okay, alright, very well. Let's continue on and let's go on to the next problem. The next problem is going to be on the next page and it's going to be letter F. So let me bring that to view. Alright, here we go. This one, always, you want to identify your M and B. Okay, in this case, my M is 3 over 2. And my B, well, I don't have a B, but basically there's an invisible 0 there. So we know that B is actually 0. So in this case, we're going to start at 0, because that's my B. And from there, we're going to go up 3 over 2, up 3 over 2, up 3 over 2, and then we're going to go backwards, down 3 over 2, down 3 over 2, down 3 over 2, and there is our graph. Very well. Now we'll go on to the next problem, and if you notice on the next problem, we have something different. The y is not alone. It is very, very important that the y be alone for us to be able to do the graph. We cannot do the graph until the y is alone. So in order to get the y alone, I'm going to send that 4x to the other side. So this would be negative 8y equals 16 minus 4x. Now how do I get the y alone? I'm going to divide by negative 8. And when I divide by negative 8, this would be y equals 16 divided by negative 8 is negative 2. And can I divide 4 by 8? No, I cannot. Can I reduce the fraction? Yes, you can. What number can I divide 4 and 8 by? I can divide both numbers by 4. So that means this becomes positive 1 over 2x. 1 over 2x. Alright, so that's my equation. I got the y alone. Now I can identify my M and B, just like I did in the previous problems. My M is going to be 1 over 2, and my B is going to be negative 2. With that information, I can come to my graph, and I start the graph with the B, which is negative 2. And then using the slope, I'm going to go up 1 over 2, 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 and then I'm going to go back to the starting point and I'm going to go down 1 over 2, down 1 over 2, down 1 over 2, and all the way to I complete the graph. And now remember, you're supposed to have a straight line. So if you don't get a straight line, that means you have to erase and try it again, because you probably made a mistake somewhere. Okay? Alright, let's go on to letter H. Letter H, again, the y is not alone. So what we're going to do is we're going to move the 12x to the other side. So this is going to leave us negative y equals negative 5 minus 12x. How do I get the y alone? We need to get the y alone by dividing by negative 1. So this would be y equals positive 5 plus 12x. So my slope is going to be 12, and my b is going to be 5. Now remember, we want the slope to be a fraction, so we're going to put a 1 underneath the 12. Alright, and I did not make a mistake. Negative and negative is a positive, negative and negative is a positive, so we're fine here. We're good. Alright, so let's go on to graphing. I'm going to graph starting at 5, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then the slope tells us to go up 12, but the problem is I cannot go up 12 because the graph stops at 10. Okay, so basically what you can do is you can imagine that we're making a point right here. Okay, and once we make that point, what we usually do? Okay, well, it's not really over here, but it's like way up there, right? Because I'm going to go up 12 from that 5. Okay, so imagine that you're going to have a point way up there in space. You made that point. What would be the next step? The next step would be to come back to the starting point and then do the opposite. So now we're going to do the opposite. We're going to down 12. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 over 1. Okay, so there we go. Okay, so here we're going to have to use a little bit of our imagination, because here we made the starting point. We imagined that we went up and made a point over there. Then we come back to the starting point and go back down. I mean, we do negative 12 over 1, and that's our line. Okay? Alright, the next one is going to be special cases. If you remember here, I mean, if you want to write it, you can write the slope here is 0, and the b here would be negative 2. Okay? Or you can always remember that if you have the y alone, okay, you go to where y equals negative 2, okay, it's right there, and you're going to draw a horizontal line. So if you have y equals just a plain number, you're going to have a horizontal line. Or you can think about the slope. The slope is 0, and the y-intercept is negative 2, so you start at negative 2, and basically this is 0 over 1, so don't go up, don't go down, just stay there and go over 1. Don't go up nor down, over 1, over 1, over 1, and that's how you make the line. What I usually do is just remember that y equals, just go to y equals negative 2 and just draw a line, okay? X equals 5, same thing. You go to where x equals 5, right there, and this would be a vertical line. So remember, if you have x equals a plain number, it's going to be a vertical line, and if it's a horizontal line, it's just going to be like a line like that. Okay. I'm not going to ask you to identify M and B for these over here, so you can just basically draw a line. Okay. Just remember, if y equals a plain number, is a horizontal line, and if it's x equals a plain number, it is a vertical line. Now, for the other types of problems, these problems right here, yes, I would like to see the M and B for every problem. Okay. Alright, I believe this concludes the lesson, and you have an assignment which is a handout, so you can click on handout over at the website, and you'll be able to see the handout. Okay, thank you very much for your time, and have a great day.